Next question is the radical center of the three circles x square plus y square minus 1 is equal to 0, x square plus y square minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0, and x square plus y square plus 10y plus 24 is equal to 0 is. Three equations are given. Therefore, let S1 is equal to x square plus y square is equal to 1. Let S2 is equal to x square plus y square minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. And let S3 is equal to x square plus y square plus 10y plus 24 is equal to 0. Now, on subtracting S1 and S2, or we can say that equation 1 minus equation 2, we get 8x is equal to 16. So x will be equals to 2. Similarly, equation 1 minus equation 3, we get minus 10y is equal to 25. So y will be equals to minus of 25 by 10. So y will be equals to minus 5 by 2. Therefore, we have 2 points, which is x and y. So it will be 2 comma minus 5 by 2. So we can say that the correct option here is option number A, which is 2 comma minus 5 by 2. Next question is, if the angle between the straight lines joining the foci and the ends of the minor axis of the ellipse x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1 is 90 degree, then its eccentricity is. It is given that the angle between the straight lines is 90 degree. So let us make the required diagram first. Let this be the required circle. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Let this be the point S dash and let this be the point S. And let this be the point B. Joining S dash and B and S and B, it forms a triangle. And it is given that the angle here is 90 degree. Means this angle is 90 degree. Here points of B will be 0 comma B. Points of S dash will be minus of AE comma 0 and S will be plus of AE comma 0. Since it is the focus, equation is given, which is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. And A is greater than B. Therefore, slope of BS will be equals to minus B upon AE, which is M1, and slope of BS dash will be equals to B upon AE, which is M2. Angle between BS and BS dash is 90 degree. So we can say that M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1, which is minus B upon AE into B upon AE is equal to minus 1. On further solving, it will be minus of B square is equal to minus A square into E square. Minus and minus will be cancelled. So it will be B square is equal to A square into E square. It can be also written as A square into 1 minus E square is equal to A square into E square. Since we know that B square is equal to A square into 1 minus E square. On further solving, it will be equals to 1 minus E square is equal to C square. You can see that A square and A square will be cancelled. So from here, see here there is E square. So it is E square. So it will be 1 is equal to 2E square. So E square will be 1 upon 2 and E will be 1 upon under root of 2. So the value for eccentricity is 1 upon root 2. Therefore, we can say that the correct option here is option number D. of point of intersection of tangents at the ends of normal chord of the hyperbola x square minus y square is equal to a square is. Let the point of intersection be p x comma y. Then the equation of hyperbola becomes x into x1 minus y into y1 is equal to a square. It subtends angle theta such that we have a sec theta comma a tan theta. Then it will be x1 upon 1 upon sec theta plus y1 upon 1 upon tan theta is equal to a by 2. From here we can say that sec theta will be equals to a upon 2x1 and tan theta will be equals to minus a upon 2y1. Since we know that sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, so putting the value in this identity, it becomes a square upon 2x1 square minus a square upon 2y1 square is equal to 1. On further simplification, it will be 4a square y1 square minus 4x1 square a square is equal to 16 into x1 square into y1 square. Taking a square common, it will be y1 square minus x1 square. It is equal to 4x1 square y1 square. Therefore, we get the equation is a square into y square minus x square is equal to 4x square y square. We have replaced x1 and y1 as x comma y. So the equation becomes a square into y square minus x square is equal to 4 into x square y square. Therefore, option number C is the correct option here. Next question is, if E1 and E2 are the eccentricities of the hyperbola, 16x square minus 9y square is equal to 1 and its conjugate respectively, then 3E1 is equal to. Conjugate means, see, let us consider if this is a hyperbola, then its conjugate will be the opposite, which is in this form. So equation is given here for the hyperbola and its conjugate, which is 16x square minus 9y square is equal to 1. It can be written as x square upon 1 by 16 minus y square upon 1 by 9 is equal to 1. And for the conjugate, the equation will be minus x square upon 1 upon 16 plus y square upon 1 upon 9 is equal to 1. Here in this case, a is equal to 1 by 4 and b is equal to 1 by 3. So eccentricity for this will be E1 is equal to under root of 1 plus b square upon a square, which will be equals to under root of 1 plus 1 by 9 divided by 1 by 16, which is equals to under root of 9 plus 16 upon 9, which is equals to under root of 25 by 9, which is equal to 5 by 3. So we can say that the value of E1 is equal to 5 by 3. Now let us calculate E2 for the given values. So E2 will be equals to under root of 1 plus a square upon b square. So E2 will be equals to under root of 1 plus 1 by 16 divided by 1 by 9. Now reciprocating the terms, it will be equals to under root of 1 plus 9 by 16, which is equal to under root of 16 plus 9 upon 16, which is under root of 25 by 16, which gives 5 upon 4. So E2 is equal to 5 by 4. Now we have to find the value for 3E1. So from here, 3E1 will be equals to 5 by cross multiplication. 3 will go to the side. And we have E2 is equal to 5 by 4. So 4E2 will be also 5. So we can say that 3E1 is equal to 4E2. Therefore, the value of 3E1 is 4E2. So option number B is the correct option for this question. Next question is, if P divides the line segment joining the points A, 1, 2 and -1 and B, -1, 0 and 1 externally in the ratio 1:2 and Q is equal to 1, 3, -1, then PQ is equal to. It is given that P divides a line segment AB. So let this be the line segment A and B. P divides, it means that P is the midpoint. The points of A are 1, 2 and -1 and the points for B are -1, 0 and 1. P divides it in the ratio 1:2. So let the ratio be 1:2 here. We know that this is M1 is to M2. Let these points be X1, Y1 and Z1. And let these points be X2, Y2 and Z2. And let P be X, Y and Z. By using the section formula, X is equal to M1X2 minus M2X1 divided by M1 minus M2, and Y is equal to M1Y2 minus M2Y1 divided by M1 minus M2, and Z is equal to M1Z2 minus M2Z1 divided by M1 minus M2. Now we have to calculate the values here. So X will be equals to 1 into -1 minus 2 into 1 divided by 1 minus 2. Y will be equals to 1 into 0 minus 2 into 2 divided by 1 minus 2. And Z will be equals to 1 into 1 minus 2 into -1 divided by 1 minus 2. Therefore, X will be equals to -1 minus 2 divided by -1. Y will be equals to -4 divided by -1 and Z will be equals to 1 plus 2 divided by -1. Therefore, the value of X is equal to 3, Y is equal to 4 and Z is equal to -3. Now we have the point P, which is 3, 4 and -3. So the point P is 3, 4 and -3. And it is given in the question that point Q is 1, 3 and -1. Now let these points be X1, Y1 and Z1. And let these points be X2, Y2 and Z2. We have to find PQ. It means that we have to find the distance from P to Q. So we have to use the distance formula here. By using the distance formula, PQ will be under root of X2 minus X1 whole square plus Y2 minus Y1 whole square plus Z2 minus Z1 whole square. So PQ will be equals to, on substituting the value for X1, Y1, Z1 and X2, Y2, Z2, it will be 1 minus 3 whole square plus 3 minus 4 whole square plus -1 minus -3 whole square. On further simplifying this value, it will be under root of -2 square plus -1 square plus -2 square. So PQ will be equals to under root of 4 plus 1 plus 4, which is equal to under root 9, and under root 9 is equal to 3. Therefore, the value of PQ is 3. So we can say that the correct option is option number B here. Next question is, if the direction cosines of a line are A upon under root 83, 5 upon under root 83 and C upon under root 83 and C minus A is equal to 4, then CA is equal to. We know that for direction cosines, there is an equation which is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. Here, cos alpha is equal to a upon under root 83. Cos beta is equal to 5 upon under root 83. And cos gamma is equal to c upon under root 83. Substituting this value in this equation for direction cosines, we will get a square upon 83 plus 25 upon 83 plus c square upon 83 is equal to 1. So it can be a square plus 25 plus c square is equal to 83, or a square plus c square is equal to 83 minus 25. On calculating the value, a square plus c square is equal to 58. Let this be equation number 1. It is given in the question that c minus a is equal to 4. Squaring both sides in this equation, we will get c square minus a square is equal to 16. Let this be equation number 2. Now we have two equations. First equation is a square plus c square is equal to 58. And second equation is c square minus a square is equal to 16. On solving both this equation, we get c is equal to 7 and a is equal to 3. Now we have to calculate CA. CA will be C into A, which is 7 into 3. That is equals to 21. Therefore, we can say that the value for CA is equal to 21. So option number B is the correct option for this question. Next question is, let the plane pi pass through the point 1, 0 and 1 and perpendicular to the planes 2x plus 3y minus z is equal to 2 and x minus y plus 2z is equal to 1. Let the equation of the plane passing through the point 11, 7 and 5 and parallel to the plane pi be ax plus by minus z plus d is equal to 0. The equation is given which is ax plus by minus z plus d is equal to 0. We have to find the value for a upon b plus b upon d. So first we have to calculate the values for a, b and d. Two equations are given and out of this equation a matrix can be written which is 2, 3 and minus 1 and 1, minus 1 and 2. It is equals to 2 and 1. Now, solving this determinant and cross multiplying, here you can see that the coefficient of y is minus 1 and the coefficient of z in first equation is also minus 1. So it will be 3 into 2 minus 1 into minus 1. So after solving this and cross multiplying, the values will be 5, minus 5 and minus 5. Taking 5 common, it will be 1, minus 1 and minus 1. So according to this values, the equation becomes 1x minus 1y minus 1z is equal to, let a variable k. We can take any variable here. So on substituting the values here, it will be 1 minus 0 minus 1 is equal to 0. So this equation is satisfied. Now equation is given in the question which is ax plus by minus z plus d is equal to 0. We know that the value for a is 1. So this equation becomes coefficient of x is 1. Coefficient of y is b which is minus 1 and d will be plus 1 here because you can see that the coefficient of d is plus 1 only. There is a plus sign. So we have the values for a which is 1, b which is minus 1 and d which is 1. We have to find a upon b plus b upon d. So substituting the values here, it will be 1 upon minus 1 plus minus 1 upon 1, which is equal to minus 1 plus minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1 is minus 2. So the correct answer for this question is option number D, which is minus of 2. Next question is limit x tends to minus infinity log base e cos hx plus x is equal to. It can be written as limit x tends to minus infinity e to the power x minus log cos hx, which will be equal to limit x tends to minus of infinity e to the power x divided by cos hx. We know that cos hx is equal to e to the power x plus e to the power minus x divided by e to the power x. So substituting this value here, we will get limit x tends to minus infinity 2 into e to the power x divided by e to the power x plus e to the power minus x. It will be limit x tends to minus of infinity 2 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus 2x, which is equal to 2. Therefore, we can say that the value for the given expression is 2. And therefore, limit x tends to minus infinity log base e cos hx plus x will be log 2. So we can say that the correct option is option number A here. Next question is, if A, B and C are three distinct real numbers and limit x tends to infinity, b minus c into x square plus c minus a into x plus a minus b whole divided by a minus b into x square plus b minus c into x plus c minus a is equal to 1 by 2, then a plus 2c is equal to. We have to find a plus 2c. So first let us cross multiply this term. So by cross multiplying, it becomes 2 into b minus c into x square plus 2 into c minus a into x plus 2 into a minus b is equal to a minus b into x square plus b minus c into x plus c minus a. On further multiplying, it will be 2 into bx square minus cx square plus cx minus ax plus a minus b is equal to ax square minus bx square plus bx minus cx plus c minus a. On multiplying it with 2, this will be 2bx square minus 2cx square plus 2cx minus 2ax plus 2a minus 2b is equal to ax square minus bx square plus bx minus cx plus c minus a. Now taking all the term on the left hand side, it becomes 2bx square minus 2cx square plus 2cx minus 2ax plus 2a minus 2b minus ax square plus bx square minus bx plus cx minus c plus a is equal to 0. Now, you can see that on solving this particular equation, here there is 2bx square and here there is bx square. So it will be 3bx square. Now, looking for the term which is minus 2cx square. It will be minus 2cx square. Now, 2cx plus cx is 3cx. So plus 3cx minus 2ax plus 2a plus a is 3a minus ax square plus cx minus c plus a minus bx. See, all the terms are calculated now. It is 3bx square minus 2cx square plus 3cx minus 2ax plus 3a minus ax square plus, see here there is bx square and minus bx plus cx minus c plus a is equal to 0. Okay. Now we have to further calculate it, taking x square common from both these terms. Or first let us calculate it or simplify it. So it becomes 3bx square minus 2cx square plus 3cx minus 2ax plus 3a minus ax square minus 2b minus c minus bx is equal to 0. Now taking x square common, the remaining terms will be 3b minus 2c minus a. Plus taking x common, the remaining terms are 3c minus 2a minus b. Plus the remaining numbers are 3a minus 2b minus c is equal to 0. On equating the coefficient of x square, it will be 3b minus 2c minus a is equal to 0. So from here we can say that 3b is equal to a plus 2c. I hope this step is clear to you. We have to equate the terms because this whole equation is equal to 0. So every single term will be also equal to 0. So we can say that 3b is equal to a plus 2c. So the value for a plus 2c is 3b. See, we have proved that 3b is equal to a plus 2c. So we can say that a plus 2b is equal to 3b. So option number C is the correct option for this question. Next question is limit x tends to minus of infinity 3 into mode of x minus x divided by mode of x minus 2x minus limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x cube divided by sine cube x is equal to. We have to simplify this term. So on putting the limits, it will be minus of 2x divided by 3x minus limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x cube divided by sine cube x. On further solving it, it will be equals to minus of 2 by 3 minus limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x cube divided by sine cube x. Multiplying and dividing by x cube in the denominator, it becomes minus of 2 by 3 into limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x cube. Now multiplying and dividing by x cube. So x cube into sine cube x divided by x cube. We know that there is a formula which is limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x divided by x is equal to 1 and limit x tends to 0 sine x upon x is also equal to 1. So we have the term which is minus of 2 by 3 limit x tends to 0 log of 1 plus x cube upon x cube and sine cube x upon x cube. See, we take this particular term as a single term and the remaining term is sine cube x upon x cube. We know that both the values are 1. So it will be minus of 2 by 3 minus 1 upon 1 into 1. So it will be minus of 2 by 3 minus 1, which is equal to minus of 2 minus 3 divided by 3, which gives minus of minus 1 by 3. So minus minus become plus here. So we can say that its value is plus 1 by 3. So option number A is the correct option for this question. Next question is if 3f cos x plus 2f sin x is equal to 5x, then f dash cos x plus f dash sin x is. So first we have to calculate the value for f of cos x and f of sin x here. Let this be equation number 1. And let x is equal to pi by 2 minus x. So if x is equal to pi by 2 minus x, the equation becomes 3f cos of pi by 2 minus x plus 2f sin of pi by 2 minus x is equal to 5 of pi by 2 minus x. We know that cos pi by 2 minus theta is sin theta and sin pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta. So it will be 3f sin x plus 2f cos x is equal to 5 into pi by 2 minus x. Let this be equation number 2. Now we have two equations. We have to just solve this equation and find the value for f of cos x and f of sin x. Multiplying equation 1 with 3 and equation 2 with 2, we get two more equations, which will be 9f cos x plus 6f sin x is equal to 15x and 6f sin x plus 4f cos x is equal to 10 into pi by 2 minus x. On adding both this equation, this will be minus, minus and minus. So 6f sin x and 6f sin x will be cancelled. 9f cos x minus 4f cos x is 5f of cos x. It is equal to 15x minus 10 pi by 2 minus 10x. On further solving this term, it will be 5f of cos x is equal to 5x minus 10 by 2 is 5. So it will be 10 pi by 2. Now put cos x is equal to t here. So x will be equals to cos inverse t. Therefore 5f of t will be 5 into cos inverse t. We know that x is equal to cos inverse t minus 10 pi by 2. Taking 5 common from left hand side and right hand side, it becomes f of t is equal to cos inverse t minus 2 pi by 2. So f of t will be equals to cos inverse t minus pi. This 2 and 2 will be cancelled. Now we have to find f dash t because we have to calculate f dash cos x. So f dash t will be minus 1 upon under root of 1 minus t square minus 0. So this is the required value for f dash t and here t is cos x. So we have to put the value for t. So f dash cos x is equal to minus 1 upon under root 1 minus cos square x. We know that under root of 1 minus cos square x will be sin x. So f dash cos x will be equals to minus 1 upon sin x. Similarly, we have to solve and we have to find the value for f dash sin x. So the two equations were 6f of cos x plus 4f of sin x is equal to 10x. See, we have the two equations here. In the first part, we have calculated f dash cos x. Now we have to calculate f dash sin x. So multiplying equation 1 with 2 and equation 2 with 1, we will get 6f of cos x plus 4f of sin x is equal to 10x and 9f of sin x plus 6f of cos x is equal to 15 into pi by 2 minus x. On adding these values, this will be minus, minus and minus. 6f cos x and 6f cos x will be cancelled. Minus 9f of sin x plus 4f of sin x is minus 5f of sin x. It is equal to minus 15 pi by 2 plus 15x plus 10x. So minus 5f of sin x will be equals to, taking minus common, it will be 15 pi by 2 minus 15x plus 10x. This minus and minus will be cancelled. So it will be 5f of sin x is equal to 15 pi by 2 minus 5x. Put sin x is equal to t. See, we have to repeat the same procedure for this part also. If sin x is equal to t, then x will be here sin inverse t. So 5 of f of t is equal to 15 pi by 2 minus 5 into sin inverse t, because we know that x is equal to sin inverse t. Now, taking 5 common from the right hand side and the left hand side, the equation becomes f of t is equal to 3 pi by 2 minus sin inverse t. So f dash t will be equals to 0 minus 1 upon 1 minus t square, and it is an under root. Now t is sin x. So putting t is equal to sin x, it will be f dash sin x is equal to minus 1 upon under root of 1 minus sin square x. We know that under root of 1 minus sin square x can be written as cos x. So it will be f dash sin x is equal to minus of 1 upon cos x. Now we have to calculate f dash cos x plus f dash sin x. It will be minus 1 upon sin x minus 1 upon cos x. And remember that we have to multiply it with 5 because there is a term which is 5. So we have taken 5 common. So now we have to multiply it in the RHS. So it becomes minus 5 upon sin x minus 5 upon cos x. So this is the required value for the given expression. So we can say that out of all the given options, the correct option is option number C, which is minus 5 upon sin x minus 5 upon cos x. Next question is, an assertion is given, which is d by dx of x square sin x divided by log x. It is equal to x square sin x divided by log x into cot x plus 2 by x minus 1 upon x log x. And the reason is given. We have to identify that whether assertion is true or reason is true or whether both are not true. So let us solve the LHS of the assertion. Now differentiating it, it will be d by dx of x square into sin x into log base 10x minus x square into sin x into d by dx of log base 10x whole divided by log base 10x square. On further calculating it, this will be equals to, see, d by dx of x square into sin x will be 2x into sin x plus x square into cos of x into log base 10x minus x square into sin of x into 1 upon log base 10x whole divided by log base 10x square. On further solving this expression, it will be log x 2x sin x plus x square cos x minus x sin x whole divided by log 10 log base 10 x square. On further solving this expression, it will be equals to x square sin x divided by log x into cot x plus 2 by x minus 1 upon x log x. And this is the RHS part. So we have proved that LHS is equal to RHS. So we can say that assertion is true. And the reason is d by dx of uv upon w is equal to uv upon w into u power 1 upon u plus v power 1 upon v minus w power 1 upon w. See, the reason also seems correct because the answer is in the same form as the reason. So we can say that both the assertion and reason are correct for this question. So option number A is correct for this question. Next question is, if x is equal to f of theta and y is equal to g of theta, then d square y upon dx square is equal to. See, d square y upon dx square can be written as d by dx of dy by dx. So we have to calculate dy by dx here. And here dx upon d theta will be f dash theta and dy upon d theta will be g dash theta. Now dy by dx means it will be d by dx of dy by dx is dy upon d theta divided by dx upon d theta. So substituting the values here, it will be dy by dx of g dash theta divided by f dash theta. See, we have just substituted the values here because we know that dx upon d theta is f dash theta and dy upon d theta is g dash theta. Now it is in the division and we know that its differentiation will be f dash theta into g double dash theta, which is second into d by dx of first minus first into d by dx of second divided by second whole square. So it is f dash theta cube. So we can say that the value is f dash theta into g double dash theta minus g dash theta into f double dash theta upon f dash theta cube, which is option number C here. Next question is, if the normal drawn at a point P on the curve 3y is equal to 6x minus 5x cube passes through 0, 0, then the positive integral value of the abscissa of the point P is. We have to find the possible integral value for the abscissa for point P. So in the first step, let x1 and y1 be the point of the given curve, which is 3y is equal to 6x minus 5x cube, at which the normal passes through the origin. It is given that it passes through 0, 0, and we know that 0, 0 is the origin. Then we can have dy by dx at x1 and y1 is equal to 2 minus 5x1 square. Again, the equation of the normal at x1 and y1 passing through the origin gives 2 minus 5x1 square is equal to minus x1 upon y1, which is equal to minus 3 upon 6 minus 5x1 square. Since x1 is equal to 1, it means that it satisfies the equation. So we can say that the correct answer for this question is option number A, which is 1. Next question is, the line joining the points 0, 3 and 5, minus 2 is a tangent to the curve y is equal to c upon x plus 1. Then c is equal to, a curve is given and the equation for the curve is y is equal to c upon x plus 1. So we can find dy by dx will be minus of c upon x plus 1 whole square. Slope of the tangent to the curve will be minus c upon x plus 1 whole square. It is given in the question that equation of the tangent line joining the points 0, 3 and 5, minus 2. So the equation will be y is equal to minus x plus 3. We know that slope is minus c upon x plus 1 whole square. It is equal to minus 1. So on further solving, c will be equals to x plus 1 whole square. Therefore, the equation of the curve becomes y is equal to x plus 1 and y is equal to minus x plus 3. So substituting the value here, so minus x plus 3 will be equals to x plus 1. Therefore, x plus x is equal to c. Here there is negative x and here there is positive x. So it will be x is equal to 1. And if x is equal to 1, then c will be equals to 1 plus 1 whole square, because we know that c is equal to x plus 1 whole square. So c will be 2 square. Therefore, c will be equals to 4. Therefore, we can say that the value for c is 4. So option number C is the correct option here. Next question is y is equal to x cube minus ax square plus 48x plus 7 is an increasing function for all the real values of x, then a lies in the interval. We have to find the interval in which a lies. An equation is given here. So first let us find its derivative. Y dash will be equals to 3x square minus 2ax plus 48. For the given function to increasing for all x, discriminant should be less than 0, because the question says that it is an increasing function for all real values of x. But we know that for a function to increase for all the value of x, discriminant should be less than 0. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac should be less than 0. Substituting the value here, b is minus 2a. So minus 2a square minus 4 into a is 3 and c is 48. It should be less than 0. So it becomes a square minus 144 is less than 0. So there can be two roots, which is a plus 12 and a minus 12 less than 0. So we can say that a belongs to minus 12 and plus 12. This is the range of interval in which a lies. Therefore, we can say that the correct option is option number B here. Next question is a very, very simple question. If a and b is greater than 0, then minimum value of y is equal to b square upon a minus x plus a square upon x, where x lies between 0 and a is. Again, an equation is given which is equal to y. So let us find its differentiation. So dy by dx will be equals to minus of b square divided by a minus x whole square into minus 1 minus a square divided by x square is equal to 0. So from here we can say that x will be equals to a square divided by a plus minus b. Again, finding the second order derivative, it will be d square y upon dx square is equal to 2a square upon x cube plus 2b square upon a minus x whole cube. So we can say that d square y upon dx square at x is equal to a square upon a plus b is greater than 0. Therefore, y is minimum, or we can say y minimum is at x is equal to a square upon a plus b, and y is minimum at b square into a plus b divided by ab plus a square into a plus b divided by a square. So on further solving, it will be equals to a plus b into b upon a plus 1, which is equals to a plus b whole square upon a. So we can say that y will be minimum at 4b. Therefore, we can say that the correct option here is option number B, which is 4b. Next question is the point on the curve y is equal to x square plus 4x plus 3, which is closest to the line y is equal to 3x plus 2 is. We don't know the points here. So let the point be x comma x square plus 4x plus 3. Therefore, d will be equal to x square plus 4x plus 3 minus 3x minus 2 whole divided by under root of 9 plus 1. It is from the vectors. Therefore, d will be equals to modulus of x square plus x1 divided by under root of 9 plus 1. Now, d by dx of d will be equal to 2x plus 1. Therefore, 2x plus 1 is equal to 0 and 2x is equal to minus 1. So, x will be equals to minus 1 upon 2. If x is equal to minus 1 upon 2, then y will be equals to 5 upon 4. So, we can say that the correct option here is minus 1 by 2 and 5 by 4, which is option number B here. Next question is integral of 3x plus 4 divided by x cube minus 2x plus 4 dx is equal to log of f of x plus c. Then f of 3 is equal to. The given format is log of f of x plus c. On comparing it, f of x will be 1 upon under root of x square plus 2x plus 2. If f of x is 1 upon under root of x square plus 2x plus 2, then f of 3 will be equals to 1 upon under root of 3 square plus 2 into 3 plus 2, which is equal to 1 upon under root of 9 plus 6 plus 2, which is equal to 1 upon under root of 17. So we can say that the correct option is option number A here, which is 1 upon under root 17. Next question is integral of e to the power tan inverse x divided by 1 plus x square into sec inverse under root of 1 plus x square whole square plus cos inverse 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x square dx is equal to. So let I is equal to the given expression. We know that sec inverse under root of 1 plus x square is equal to tan inverse x and cos inverse 1 minus x upon 1 plus x square is equal to 2 tan inverse x. So substituting these values here, I will be equals to integral of e to the power tan inverse x divided by 1 plus x square into tan inverse x square plus 2 tan inverse x dx. Now put tan inverse x is equal to t. Therefore, 1 upon 1 plus x square dx is equal to dt. Now, again substituting these values here, I will be equals to integral of e to the power t into t square plus 2t dt. Let this be first and let this be second. On further integrating it, this will be equals to t square plus 2t into e power t minus of integral of 2t plus 2 into e to the power t into dt. On further solving it, this will be t square plus 2t into e to the power t minus of e to the power t into 2t plus 2 minus integral of 2 into e to the power t dt, which is equals to t square plus 2t into e to the power t minus e to the power t into 2t plus 2 minus 2 into e to the power t plus c. On further multiplying, it will be t square e to the power t plus 2t e to the power t minus 2t e to the power t minus e to the power t into 2 minus and minus plus 2 into e to the power t plus c. You can see that 2t e to the power t and minus 2t e to the power t will be cancelled, and plus 2 into e to the power t and minus 2 into e to the power t will be cancelled. So the remaining terms will be t square into e to the power t plus c. Putting the value of t here, we know that t is equal to tan inverse x. So it will be e to the power tan inverse x into tan inverse x whole square plus c. Therefore, we can say that the correct option here is option number A. Next question is also from the integral. So let I is equal to integral of dx upon x plus 1 power 6 by 5 into x minus 3 power 4 by 5. Now multiplying and dividing by x minus 3 by 6 by 5, we will get, see, when we multiply it, it will be x minus 3 power 6 by 5. And when we divide, it will be x minus 3 power 6 by 5. So I will be equals to integral of dx upon x plus 1 upon x minus 3 power 6 by 5 into x minus 3 whole square. Now let x plus 1 upon x minus 3 is equal to t. Therefore, dt upon dx will be equals to 1 into x minus 3 minus 1 into x plus 1 divided by x minus 3 whole square. From here, we can say that dt will be equals to minus 4 upon x minus 3 whole square into dx, and dx will be equals to x minus 3 whole square divided by minus 4 into dt. So substituting this value here in I will be equals to minus 1 upon 4 integral of x minus 3 whole square dt divided by t power 6 by 5 into x minus 3 whole square. Here x minus 3 whole square and x minus 3 whole square will be cancelled. So I will be equals to minus 1 by 4 into integral of t power minus 6 by 5 dt. We know that integral of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. So applying this formula here, I will be equals to minus of 1 by 4 into t power minus 6 by 5 plus 1 divided by minus 6 by 5 plus 1 plus c, which will be equals to minus 1 by 4 into t power minus 1 by 5 divided by minus 1 by 5 plus c. On further simplifying, it will be equals to 5 upon 4 into 1 upon t power 1 by 5 plus c. We know that t is equal to x plus 1 upon x minus 3. So putting the value of t, I will be equal to 5 by 4 into x minus 3 divided by x plus 1 power 1 by 5 plus c. It can be also written as I is equal to 5 by 4 into root of x minus 3 upon x plus 1. And since the power is 1 by 5, so it will be 5 root of x minus 3 upon x plus 1 plus c. This is the required answer for the given question. Therefore, we can say that out of all the given options here, the correct option is 5 by 4, 5 root of x minus 3 upon x plus 1 plus c, which is option number A here. Next question is, if in is equal to integral of cos power nx plus sin power nx dx and in minus n minus 1 upon n into in minus 2 is equal to sin x into cos x divided by n into f of x, then f of x is equal to, we just have to find the function. From the given values, I n minus 2 will be integral of cos power nx divided by cos square x plus sin power nx divided by sin square x dx. This can be further written as I is equal to integral of cos power n minus 2 x into cos square x. We have to apply the formula for first into second. So it becomes cos n minus 2 into d by dx of cos square x. D by dx of cos square x is minus sin 2x plus cos square x into d by dx of cos power n minus 2. We know that d by dx of cos x is sin x. So it will be minus sin power n minus 2x. Now, in the question, you can see that it is clearly given we have to find only a function. So, from this part, the real function is cos power n minus 2 into x minus sin power n minus 2 into x. This is the required function for the given question. Therefore, we can say that option number B is the correct option here, which is cos power n minus 2 into x minus sin power n minus 2 into x. Next question is, let t greater than 0 be a fixed number. A function is such that relation R is a continuous function such that f of x plus t is equal to f of x, where x belongs to R. If I is equal to integral of 0 to t f of x dx, then integral of 0 to 5t f of 2x dx is equal to. We know that f of x plus t is equal to f of x. It is given. And we know that integral of a to a plus xt f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to t f of x dx. So put 2x is equal to t here, then 2 dx is equal to dt. So on substituting the values, it will be equals to integral of 0 to 10t f of t into dt upon 2, because we know that dx will be dt by 2. Now, taking 1 by 2 outside, as it is a constant, 0 to 10t f of t dt. Further solving, it will be equals to 1 by 2 into 10 integral of 0 to t f of t dt. 1 by 2 into 10 is 5. So it will be 5 into integral of 0 to t f of t dt, which is equal to I, because in the question it is given that I is equal to integral of 0 to t f of x dx. So we can say that this part is equal to I. So it will be 5 into I. Therefore, we can say that the correct option for this question is 5 into I, which is option number C here. Next question is integral of 1 to 3 x power n into x square minus 1 dx is equal to 6, then n is equal to. We have to find the value for n here. We know that there is a form which is integral of u into v is equal to u integral of v minus integral of u dash into integral of v dx. Applying this formula here, it will be integral of 1 to 3 x power n minus 1 into x into under root of x square minus 1. Let this be u and let this be v. And here there is dx. So it will be equals to x power n minus 1 integral of x into under root of x square minus 1 dx minus integral of n minus 1 into x power n minus 2 integral of x into under root of x square minus 1 dx. On further solving, it will be equals to x power n minus 1 upon 2 into x square minus 1 power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2, and the limits here are 1 to 3 minus n minus 1 by 2 into integral of x power n minus 2 into x square minus 1 divided by 3 by 2, and here also power 3 by 2 dx. On further solving, it will be equals to 3 power n minus 1 divided by 2 into 8 power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 minus of 0. Here 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So it becomes 3 power n minus 2 into 2 minus n minus 1 upon 2 integral of 1 to 3 x power n into x square minus 1 power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 dx. Here you can see that in this particular term 3 power n minus 2, here 3 into 2 is equal to 6. So therefore n will be equals to 3. Therefore we can say that the value for n here is 3. So option number B is the correct option for this question. Next question is, if dot represent greatest integer function, then integral of minus 1 to 1 x into 1 plus sine pi x plus 1 dx is equal to. Here we know that sine pi x lies between minus 1 to 1. Therefore, I will be equals to integral of minus 1 to 0 x into 1 plus sine pi x plus 1 dx plus integral of 0 to 1 x into 1 plus sine pi x plus 1 dx, which is equals to integral of minus 1 to 0 x into 0 plus 1 dx plus 0 to 1 x of 0 plus 1 dx. On further solving, I will be equals to integral of minus 1 to 0 1 dx plus integral of 0 to 1 1 dx. It will be equals to x and the limits are minus 1 to 0 plus again x and the limits are 0 to 1. So on applying the limits, I will be equals to 0 minus minus 1 plus 1 minus 0. So I will be equals to 2. Therefore, we can say that the value for I here is 2. So option number B is the correct option for this question. Next question is, limit n tends to infinity n divided by n plus 1 into under root of 2n plus 1 plus n divided by n plus 2 into under root of 2 into 2n plus 2 plus n divided by n plus 3 into under root of 3 into 2n plus 3. So on up to n terms. You can see that it forms a series, and here the value is from k is equal to 1 to n. You can see that here there is 1, 2, 3. So we can write it as limit n tends to infinity summation of k is equal to 1 to n upon n plus k into under root of k into 2n plus k. Now multiplying and dividing by n here, it becomes limit n tends to infinity, 1 upon n, summation of k is equal to 1 to n square divided by n plus k into under root of k into 2n plus k. We have multiplied and divided by n here. Now, dividing by n square in the numerator and denominator, it becomes limit n tends to infinity, 1 upon n, summation of k is equal to 1 to n square upon n square divided by n plus k into under root of k into 2n plus k divided by n square. Now, n square by n square is 1. So, the numerator will be 1. So, it will be limit n tends to infinity, 1 upon n into summation of k is equal to 1 to n, 1 divided by. Now, we have to split this n square as n into n. So, it becomes n plus k upon n into under root of k into 2n plus k divided by n divided by n. Since it is an under root, so it will be the same term. Now, on further solving, it will be equals to limit n tends to infinity, 1 upon n, summation of k is equal to 1 to n, 1 divided by, on further separating this term, it will be n by n plus k by n. So n by n is 1. So 1 plus k by n into under root of k by n into 2 plus k by n. Again here 2n upon n will be 2. Now it is the integral part when k upon n is equal to x. You can see that it is limit sum. Whenever there is a series which consists of limits and the sum. Here there is limit and the summation. So it is limit sum, and it is integral when k upon n is equal to x. So it will be integral of 0 to 1, 1 upon 1 plus x into under root of x into 2 plus x. What we have to do is we have to just replace k by n as x. So when k by n is equal to x, it will be integral. On further solving, it will be 0 to 1, 1 upon 1 plus x into under root of x square plus 2x. You can see that it is an integral part, but the form here is, if we ignore the integral, the form is 1 upon 1 plus x into under root of x square plus 2x. This is the required solution for this question. We do not need to solve integral part here. We just have to find this form that when k by n is equal to x, then what is the particular form here. Therefore, we can say that the correct option here is 1 upon 1 plus x into x square plus 2x in under root, which is option number A here. Next question is the general solution of the differential equation dy by dx is equal to cos square 3x plus y is tan inverse root 3 by 2 into tan 3x plus y is equal to f of x. Then f of x is equal to, a solution of the differential equation is given, and the differential equation is dy by dx is equal to cos square 3x plus y. So here put 3x plus y is equal to 3. So 3 plus dy upon dx will be equals to dt upon dx. Therefore, dt upon dx minus 3 will be equals to cos square t. And we can say that dt upon dx will be equals to 3 plus cos square t. Therefore, dt will be equals to dx, and in the division there will be 3 plus cos square t. Now, we know that cos 2t is equal to 2 cos square t minus 1. So, on integrating this term, it will be integral of dt upon 3 plus cos square t is equals to, it will be integral of 2 upon 7 plus cos 2t and dt. On further solving, it will be equals to 2 upon 7 plus 1 minus t square upon 1 plus t square dt. Now, on further simplifying this term, it will be equals to 2 into 1 plus t square divided by 7 into 1 plus t square minus 1 minus t square and dt. It is in the integral. So it becomes integral of 2 dp upon 8 plus 6p square. Here put p is equal to tan t. So it will be equals to integral of 1 upon 4 plus 3p square dp, which is equal to 1 by 3 integral of 1 upon 4 by 3 plus p square into dp, which is equal to 1 by 3 into 1 upon 2 by root 3 into tan inverse p by 2 into root 3. Further, it can be written as 1 by 2 root 3 tan inverse root 3 by 2 plus c. So here put tan inverse root 3 by 2 is equal to x. So it becomes 1 upon 2 root 3 into x plus c. So it will be 2 root 3 is equal to x plus c. Therefore, we can say that the correct option for this question is 2 root 3 into x plus c, which is option number A here. Next question is, if the general solution of the differential equation cos square x dy by dx plus y is equal to tan x is y is equal to tan x minus 1 plus c into e power minus tan x, satisfy y of pi by 4 is equal to 1. The condition which is given that it satisfy y of pi by 4 is equal to 1, it means that when x is equal to pi by 4, then y is equal to 1. We have to put these values in the given solution, which is y is equal to tan x minus 1 plus c into e power minus tan x. So when we put y is equal to 1, left hand side will be 1. 1 is equal to tan x, means 10 pi by 4 minus 1 plus c into e power minus 10 pi by 4. We have just substituted the values. On further solving, it will be 1 is equal to 10 pi by 4 is 1. So 1 minus 1 plus c into e power. If 10 pi by 4 is 1, then minus 10 pi by 4 will be also 1. But since here there is minus, so it will be minus 1. On further solving, 1 minus 1 will be 0 here. So the remaining term will be 1 is equal to c into e power minus 1. Or we can say that 1 is equal to c upon e. So from here, c will be equals to e. So the value of c is e here. Therefore, the correct option is option number A. Next question is, assertion is given, which is order of the differential equations of a family of circles with constant radius is 2. And the reason is an algebraic equation having two arbitrary constants is general solution of a second order differential equation. We know that in this given question, assertion is true that order of differential equation of a circle with constant radius is always 2. And according to this assertion, the reason is that in any algebraic equation which consists of two different arbitrary constants, then the general solution is always in the second order. So we can say that for this particular question, both the assertion and the reason are true, and the reason is the correct explanation to the assertion. So option number A is the correct answer for this question. I hope all these questions are clear to you and all the concept behind every question is also clear to you. Keep learning more and keep scoring high.